Hey there, Designaholics. I'm Carrie Lawless.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Kelly.
And we are Designaholics. On today's Designaholic DIY, we're going to take this not so attractive headboard behind me that I got at Habitat, I think for like, I don't know, $10 or $15. And we are going to transform it into a masterpiece to match these two pieces on the side. Stay with us. So we're ready to get started and we're doing our usual. We're cleaning with Krud Kutter. So we're gonna go ahead and just spray it down really good. And we're gonna leave it on for about 15 minutes and then we're gonna come back and wipe it. We've already gotten started rinsing the Krud Kutter, and oh my goodness, look at what's on here. This is why you have to really clean these pieces, especially when you buy them used. This could have been sitting in somebody's shed, or I don't know, or maybe somebody just smoked or something, but I just know it's disgusting. So we're gonna rinse this one several times. So we actually had to get in these grooves. I mean, this thing is so dirty. We didn't want to leave anything to chance, so we've got a little scrub brush, and we are really dousing this thing. We've got everything washed off pretty good. Boy, was that thing dirty. And we are starting with the base coat. What I'm gonna do this time is mix these two colors, Sheepskin and Adirondack. Sheepskin's just a little too yellow and too dark for what I want. And obviously Adirondack is pure white, which is gonna be way too white. Here, Kayla, you wanna pull this for me? And then I'll go ahead and start pouring the other one. And we wanna get all of the paint from both containers into here. Oh, look how pretty that looks. We want to get all the paint in here so that we have an equal ratio when we're mixing. We want to dig that paint stick all the way at the bottom because with chalk paint, the thick portion of it settles at the bottom. It's really heavy. I still don't have all of it, but when it gets like this, you can actually put a little bit of water in there, shake it up, and get the rest. We're probably not going to do that right now, but you can. That is a pretty color. I know it probably looks solid white on the video, but it's not. It's very like a soft, creamy color. All right, there you go. Okay, now we have our shoebox, which is my favorite way to carry paint because if it knocks a little bit, it won't spill. And then we also have some water. So the water just helps you to be able to spread it out. So here we go. We're dipping it in the paint, a little bit in the water, and that's gonna allow us to spread it really well. Now on these lattice pieces, we definitely wanna get the sides. And it's good to have something that it can drip onto. So that's why we put this plastic here. It is definitely gonna drip down. Then we're gonna flip it over and catch the drips on the back as soon as it has set up. See how fast this goes when you add water? It makes such a difference. You may have to put an extra coat or two, but it's still way faster and easier in the long run. Plus you don't get those deep grooves that you get with chalk paint because the water helps thin it enough. So we're putting the second coat on. We actually already did catch the back. We got any of the drips that bled through this lattice looking stuff right here and straightened them all out. And now we're putting the second coat on the front. As far as base coat goes, I think we're probably gonna be okay with 2 coats. I don't know, maybe a third. We'll see. So this is kind of crazy. I started testing a little section, and oh, by the way, Natalia's with us today. Hi. So we started testing a little section, and it started working well, and our creativity kind of took over, and then we remembered that we didn't do it on camera. So here we are. So what we did was, normally, like with these pieces, I used antiquing wax, but I'm trying something different here, and I think I like how it's turning out. We're actually using the chalk paint with water to antique this, and it's coming out really similar to how we did that, and it's faster. So, yeah, I know, it looks really, really pretty. So it's super similar to that. I think we might be a little bit lighter, but I didn't want to use antiquing wax in all these little crevices because it was gonna be, I don't know, difficult to get it wiped out. So that's why I said, well, let's try the watered down chalk paint, because I knew we could get it wiped out a whole lot easier because it's thin. Well, anyway, so we used, I think this is Fawn, this is Hazelnut, and this is Java. So we're taking these three colors, and this is just water, and we just put a little dab of each right here, and then we just started spreading it out. So that's why this corner is darker than it's supposed to be, because that's where we started. But we're just gonna keep using water, and we're gonna spread these three colors out, and then I'll show you in just a minute how I even started, you know, like putting the dabs of paint on. Because unfortunately we totally missed that. We're using our favorite little angle synthetic brushes here also. We'll find you a link to something similar to this so you'll know. So you'll be able to purchase something similar to what we're using here, because these work so well. The brush strokes aren't, the brush strokes are real neat looking. I'm still a lot darker.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of taking off this.
But I don't know if it's gonna dry. It seems like it's drying lighter. I don't know, but I guess it's the right color.
I think it looks exactly like that.
Yeah. So basically, you just take like a little, a dab of each one. So let me show you what I'm doing here. Each of the three colors. And I took a little tiny dab, and I'm just gonna dab it here, dab that here. The mistake I made before is I put way too much Java. This is the one that I always tell you guys turns purple. So I want the tiniest little bit, and we're just gonna add it in. Believe it or not, that will probably cover the rest of the headboard. And then we're gonna dip the brush in water and basically just blend it. Now this looks like it might be a little too orange, so we'll add in some more of the Fawn. It's the hazelnut that's super orange looking. See that color? And then maybe a tiny bit more Java. Just enough to make it brown looking. And then I think we should probably be able to take that little bit of paint and water and probably spread it out to the whole rest of the headboard. Now I will tell you this, because I didn't wax the headboard, you gotta really be careful. You can't just put this on and let it sit, because it's gonna soak right into the chalk paint, because chalk paint's so porous. So you just have to apply it and then just move it around. I don't know what chalk paint would do as far as an antiquing medium if you had waxed it first. I don't know if it would slide around better. I mean, we can always try that. This is all experimentation. We've never done it this way before, so we're just kind of learning as we go. The other trick too is if you can't get to it fast enough for it to keep from drying, just add water and keep it wet until you can get back to this paint that you're working out of. You know, the other thing about using chalk paint to antique with is that you can control your colors a lot better. Literally there's, you know, just a couple of colors of antiquing wax. I love layering on colors and getting exactly that feel that I'm looking for. I don't really like to be confined to just one color or, you know, one small set of a couple of colors. Now here's the other thing too. Let's say if this gets too dark in some areas or too dark altogether, we can always go back on top of this with either white wax, because white wax is easy to control. We can do that and get that kind of chalky look, which is so pretty. Or we can even go back over it with white chalk paint. When you're doing a piece like this, you really want to move around. Like if you're working by yourself, you want to move around and see all directions. Like Natalia can see this way, I can see that way, but you definitely will miss some of these edges if you don't move around a lot. I'm going to try getting some of this off maybe. Oh, look how much better that looks. You like it?
Yeah.
That's pretty similar, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so much better. We actually did some chandeliers like this with some gray tones, just putting on the chalk paint with the water and wiping it back off, and they came out so beautiful. Oh, and some mirrors too. We're gonna have a video on that. They're beautiful. And you can see too, like where I've gotten this too dark, I'm just dipping back into water, reactivating it, wiping it with this paper towel, and it's coming out fine. And the bottom line is, if you're afraid to do this, you don't like how it came out, just put one coat of chalk paint of the base color back on and try again. I think I'm liking this lighter stuff. Yeah, all right, so let's just use some water and pull some more back off, because I think we got a little too dark here. When I added in all that paint, it darkened everything. So here's how you fix it. Super easy. There you go. And it's still got enough antiquing. This turned almost white. It's crazy.
But you have more there.
I know. I'm gonna have to just, I guess, wipe it off of that side. Now we are gonna apply clear wax to this to protect it. So once we get the main area done with the antiquing, we can always go back after we put the clear wax and just antique the edges. Looking good? Yeah, I like that. I like that section. The middle, like the tops, that's a little dark. And then I'm gonna get this side. Now, if you're working by yourself and you have to move quickly, you want to do one section at a time. You need a stopping point so that you can, you know, like if I was working by myself on this, I would literally just do this one piece, or maybe, yeah, like this one piece, and then I would do maybe the inside of this, and then the whole outside, you know. But you just need a stopping and starting point, because it dries so quickly you can't blend into it.
Look, this is fun too. If you add water
Yeah.
to one and the other one that it's dry.
Ah, good idea. So I don't know if y'all caught that, but she's adding in water with one brush and then using the other brush to kind of just pull it back out. But the other brush has no water or paint on it. She's just kind of moving it around. I'm catching these sides here real quick, so you might have to go back one more time. They're white. Can't tell if I really got it or not. The light is so tricky.
This is exactly the same as painting with tea, like tea bags.
Yeah. Have you ever done that before?
I have.
I did some tea staining like a million years ago before we had all these cool products. I'm trying to remember what I did. But that is, it's like there was a thing. It was tea staining, and you would, you know, stain things with tea.
Yes.
Yes!
That's
Tea
it.
stain! You stain things with tea! Oh my god, that's kind of obvious.
That was perfect.
Yeah, well, there you go. You know, I mean, the creative process, you lose your mind a little bit sometimes, right? Or at least that's my excuse. All right, so I think we've got the idea here. We're just gonna finish this up, spread it out as far as we can, and then we're gonna put some clear wax, and then we'll decide to go from there, right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so now we're back with Kelly here.
Hi.
We're gonna do the
Valspar Sealing Wax.
so it's the clear coat that we're gonna put on to finish the headboard. So it's all stained already, and this is the last part. Let's do this.
So here it is. I really hope you like the finished product. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Carrie,
I'm Kelly.
and we are
The
Designaholics. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment.